Yep. I mean,
What's going on, folks? Good Thursday to you guys. All of you guys here watching Esports Extra, the only live call-in sports show talking esports and traditional sports. Larry Ridley from SNY TV, NBC Sports, also Madden NFL, a little NBA 2K League as well. Big show for you today. We'll take your phone calls live here, 877-853-5247. The meeting ID is Esport Extra. We hear you, Mark Spears. We're gonna get to you, dog. 377-678-9872. Speaking of Mark Spears, he will be joining us from ESPN, senior NBA writer for ESPN's The Undefeated. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about the NBA store. You know, the rent, they've got some issues. What's up with the rent being too damn high in New York City?
I thought it was a joke.
It's
Rents
not a
due.
joke. Rents due. The Basketball Hall of Fame, they've got a change in date. We'll talk about that. New Jersey, following in the footsteps of the state of New York, they are open for business for professional sports. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about more experience. He's going to talk about the NBA playoffs, the little play-in tournament they're talking about, or you want to call it playoffs plus. We'll get into some of that. Families, what are they going to do down at Disney? How they're going to shuffle in and families in and out of Central Florida. Paul Pierce, LeBron James, we can't let it go. We love it. The beef between Paul Pierce and LeBron. We're going to talk to a guy who was there around the time, just like I was. Folks, I was there and I don't even remember it. That's how new and fresh this is. So it was good to hear from Paul Pierce, and we'll get into that. The Knicks. Who could be the next head coach? Will it be Tibbs or Kenny Atkinson? We'll talk about that. We'll get Mark Spears' thoughts on that. Remote ESPYs this year for 2020. The ESPYs going virtual. Russell Wilson, he wants a receiver. His name is Antonio Brown. We'll talk about that. Noah Spence, an NFL player with the Saints, played with the Bucks. First player to have an injury during COVID. We'll get into that. NBA 2K League update. Big things happening with the NBA 2K League. A new thing that just came down literally an hour or two ago from Madden. The EA Sports and Madden NFL have an agreement. We'll talk about that. Compete Forever, the Compete Forever C4 League. We'll get into an update. We'll also talk about when you can watch Compete Forever Madden NFL and NBA 2K League, NBA 2K events on the Black News Channel. All right, let's bring in the crew. The crew, be the broski and the sister right there from another mister. We got Ivan Curtis here, Brooklyn Nets GM and head coach of the Brooklyn Nets gaming crew. We also got two-time,
There we
I see
go.
that energy.
There
I'm
we
bringing it
go.
today. Two times
Thank you.
WNBA
Thank you.
champion, collegiate champion as well, all around good girl,
High school champion.
high school champion,
Thank you, guys.
daughter of the great Miss Snook and
Snook and Diddy. We got y'all in early today. I like it. I like it.
Yes, sir. What's up with you guys on a Thursday, man? Talk to me.
I don't know, I was talking to RL before this on live. He was like dropping so many nuggets. So I don't know. I feel like I should light some incense after this and zen out.
What you got, OG? What's up with you, man, today?
Hey man, it's game eve for me, so just watching my guys practice today, and happy to be on the show as usual.
All right, that's good stuff. And I'm sorry, guys. I sometimes expect you guys to keep talking and you don't, and then times when I don't want you to talk, you guys.
Hey, wait a minute. When don't you want us to talk?
No. Like I'm trying to send out a text. I'm being extra right now, doing things I should not be doing, and it is not your fault. The most. Well, I'm putting the extra in esports extra right now.
Oh, I like that. The extra mostest. That's what you're doing.
The hostess with the mostest.
The hostess with
the
the
host with the
mostest.
most, because I'm a man. The host with the most, yeah, I guess.
He's a man.
Right.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
That's why he got the shirt on. I was just telling you, show them the biceps. This shirt is a medium.
No. That's enough. That's enough. I'm 43, man. I'm not 21 or 19. Back in the height
you're
of
in
my powers.
shape.
No, I'm
you
not
look healthy.
in shape. I've got 4 kids. I'm not in shape. Have you not seen my body after 4 kids?
No, I didn't see it before the kids, and I'm just saying you look nice and healthy for 43.
I'm being funny as a father. Yeah. The body doesn't change after kids.
Right.
I was fine after all my kids were born. I didn't have no pain, no nothing. I was good.
Preach.
Speaking of pain, the NBA feeling some pain, just like the rest of us. That's a hell of a segue right there. Pop it up, guys. That was pretty. That was pretty.
Listen, I get it. That was great.
I'm just messing around. I like messing with Renee.
So
She's
so
a gamer.
so professional.
Yeah, I know.
This
The,
guy.
so we were talking about rent the other day with another a
I can't
place,
believe
another
it.
business, and it's a pandemic here. It's an epidemic here in New York City. People can't pay their rent. People being sued. $1.5 million for the rent for the NBA store, the flagship store here. What is it on Fifth Avenue or Madison
Fifth
Avenue?
Ave. It's on
Fifth
Fifth
Avenue.
Ave.
Yeah. What do you guys make of this? They're not paying the rent because a virus happened in April and April and May, so they didn't pay their rent. I thought the NBA had some money. Renee, we'll start with you. You get an NBA check.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm getting a WNBA check, and the checks start on June the 1st.
Oh,
Yeah. So is that like in a couple days? It's coming up. I'm happy
Yeah.
about that. But I thought this was a joke. Like I thought this whole thing was a joke about rent. What is that candidate that y'all were talking about? Rent too high.
the rent too damn high party.
Rent too damn high.
I
Yeah.
thought all of that was a joke. So like I'm just at a loss for words. The NBA has money, but they're probably like, look, if we ain't got to pay, we ain't paying.
Yeah. OG, you work for the Brooklyn Nets. Both of you guys have ties to the NBA. I've received an NBA check before as well, so we all know about the NBA. Tell me, this $10 to $15 billion industry, they got some money to pay their rent. This ain't Larry Ridley or Renee Montgomery or Ivan Curtis.
Hello.
Hey, I think it's one of those, man. I got you. You gonna get your money, like you know what I'm saying. When everything get back up and running, I got you. Like, but yeah, it's I'm like Renee. I didn't like. I thought it like I didn't believe it either. But I mean, it's not.
I
don't-
Googled it to be sure, and it said a landlord who alleges the NBA has failed to pay more than $1.25 million in rent. I'm like, this is a real thing.
Right. Now, is
Yeah,
that 1.25 million per month, or is that both months combined?
Both
I
months
thought it was
combined,
yeah, come on.
but plus 20,000 in legal fees.
So their rent's only 600,000. That ain't bad in Manhattan. To be honest, I was thinking, shoot, our rent when we were in Midtown, right next to 30 Rock and 75 Rock, I want to say our rent was around $1 million. We
Well,
got the OCN
they must
building,
have
so yeah,
they
that's
must have got a
why.
deal because it says it seeks 1.257 to be exact. But yeah,
Wow, Fifth
yeah.
Avenue and your rent's less than $1 million for a big store like that. That's a good deal,
Or
actually.
maybe that's just how much they were behind. I don't look.
Yeah,
I don't know all the details.
yeah.
They might have said, "Look, this is what we're gonna give you, and that's it." And they probably
Right.
said, give us our extra 1.25." I don't know, but
What's the average fan at home thinking right now when he's looking and reading the story and watching us right now on twitch.tv/compete forever, mixer.com/compete forever,
well, like what you did there.
facebook.com/gaming/compete
Come
forever,
on, keep throwing the links.
youtube.com/compete forever.
Woo!
We put the sports in esports. Go ahead, Ivan.
I think they're thinking the same thing. Like they got the money. Like why wouldn't they pay it? But I think like common business practice. I wouldn't. I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do, but I think they know on the back end they're going to pay it. I mean, right now nobody's going in the store, nobody's shopping. Everything is online. So, they playing tight with the money. I mean, I think they're gonna pay them when everything
wonder
gets back up and rolling.
Like,
Yeah,
how
Renee.
long did they wait before they sued him? Like,
Yeah,
like this
that's
is
what I
my
wonder.
question. Like, because you
Well,
can't
it
just
wasn't
go
too long
straight.
because they said they didn't pay the rent in April and May. We're still
That's
in
what
May, so it wasn't that long.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
didn't
Like
waste too
they,
much time.
I don't know what's going on here. Like they didn't seem
Don't
like
you
they
need
didn't even
like
try
at
to.
least 30, 60, 90 days before
That's what
somebody's
I'm
behind before you go get them?
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. Like this timing is starting to sound a little weird.
Well, listening from the NBA's take, they said, look, it was a coronavirus. Nobody's in the stores. You can't really do this to us because we can't even open. So I
Right.
do get that part, but still, like I said, it's not John Doe out there that's struggling to pay
Yeah.
his mortgage or his rent. It's like the NBA. Maybe y'all should have worked this out behind the scenes, but you know how these people are. They want to, kind of like Noah Syndergaard. They kind of want to put it out there to make somebody look bad. But if I'm the NBA and I'm Noah
Yep.
Syndergaard, I'm like, I don't care about looking bad. We're still gonna have great ratings when we come back.
Bully
watch,
ball.
we're still worth $10 to $15 billion, and you can take a look. Matter of fact, we can build our own damn store if we want to. Why would they
But
want rent?
yeah, but I think you're exactly right. It's the exact same thing where we're going to go to the press, and they probably were like, "Go to the press." It hasn't even been 60 days. Like it probably is that kind of conversation. They was like, "Release it," and they did, and it's like, come on, like
I
it hasn't even
mean,
been
Yeah.
60 days.
Yeah, you can't. But I mean, you can't punk the NBA. Like I mean, like you got to know at some point you're gonna get your money. And so it's like it's not even worth it's not even worth all that. Like I mean, you're either gonna get it or they're gonna up and like you said, put a store somewhere else. So it's
Yeah.
like, come on, man, get
Yeah.
for real.
Plenty of places on Fifth Avenue, Madison Avenue. There's a lot of places that would love to get a half a million to $1 million a month from the National Basketball Association. Let's go down. 2020 Basketball Hall of Fame. The date has been changed. Will not have an enshrinement or an induction ceremony this year. They're going to move it till 2021. Next year in the spring, I think they were saying, Colangelo was saying first quarter, so that would be January, February, March at the latest. Also, you look at the NBA. They're also going the Hall of Fame, excuse me, in Springfield. They're also going to have two ceremonies next year. So the 2020 class with Kobe, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, they will get their own
Tamika
ceremony.
Catchings,
Tamika
Kim
Catchings, the great
Mulkey,
Tamika Catchings, yes,
Barbara
from Tennessee. Yep,
Stevens.
yep. And then the 2021 class will also get their same. Your thoughts on this? Prudent and right move, right?
Love it.
Renee, we'll go with your side
Love
on this.
it, love it,
Yeah,
love it, love it. Because don't rush. Like for instance, for something like that, there's no rush. Like we know who they are that's already inducted. So take your time and do it right because this is an historical one. You have Kobe in that class,
mhm,
Tim Duncan. These are some like there's Hall of Fame. Everybody's a Hall of Fame famer that gets the title, but this one has some iconic names and iconic people, so you can't just skip by it. And I was glad when Colangelo said we won't be combining them. The class of 2020 is a very special class and deserves its own celebration because he's absolutely right.
sure. All of the classes should get their own recognition, especially this one with the great Kobe,
Yeah.
the late great Kobe Bean Bryant. Your thoughts on this, Ivan Curtis, with them having two ceremonies in 2021? I'm on board with this. Got no problem at all.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with y'all. I mean, like I say, it's a. I mean, obviously, it's a special. All the classes are special, but this one is a little more unique in the sense of Kobe not being
Posthumously,
with us.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so I definitely agree with it. I think it's a nice sentiment, and um, should we get the bonus of having two Hall of Fame
Yeah.
ceremonies in 1 year? I mean, it's gonna be historic. I mean, and I think a lot of people are going to be in tune and locked into it. I mean, with them making that adjustment, and all the like it don't get no better than Tim Duncan, KG, and Kobe.
Yeah, come on
I
now.
Yeah,
Like
mean,
that's a
one time, like
yeah.
star-studded
That's good.
so.
That's good.
I'm in
You're probably
agreement.
looking at
I
three of
love
the
it.
top 25, 30 guys in the history of the game.
ever.
And you know what? Who's probably the worst player of that group? Probably Kevin Garnett.
And
Puts
that's
up
like
20
that's
some
saying a
thousand points.
lot.
And
Yeah,
that's saying a lot.
10
I
All
mean,
Stars.
and I mean, on the other side, Tamika Catchings, like she's gonna be
Yeah,
top five. Like a lot of
yeah.
people will put her in the top five as far as like
WNBA?
accolades.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But when I watched her at University of Tennessee, being from the state of Tennessee, man, that was a hell of
exactly,
a team right there.
and
I would
that's what I
love to see some
mean.
of those teams
The
play you guys.
Meeks.
Uh,
The
uh,
Meeks,
yeah,
Tamika,
yeah,
Tamika,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, that would have been dope. But yeah, she Olympian, college, in the pros, she had that crazy run. So yeah, I mean that class, you can't just skip over that class. So I'm so glad that they just took the time and did the right thing.
Ain't
Right, good
Coach
stuff.
is Coach Sutton in
Yes, Eddie
yeah,
Sutton, the late
Eddie
great. I
Sutton,
think he
yeah,
just
he's
passed
in it.
away too, so
Yeah,
posthumously as well.
right.
Coached at Arkansas, I believe Kentucky, won the national title,
Yeah.
78 with the University of Kentucky. Good stuff there. New Jersey, real quickly before Mark Spears calls in. Coach K 303, he'll be calling in 303. Mark Spears, the great Mark Spears from ESPN and the Undefeated, will be calling in any moment now. Let's talk about the New Jersey, the state, the Governor Murphy, where I'm residing right now, following in the footsteps of other states. You saw New York. We've seen some other states as well. I think the governor of Pennsylvania said it's open now for Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. So you got these sports here in New Jersey. A lot of people realize a lot of the New York teams they train here in New Jersey. The net, the not the Nets, but the Giants and the Jets both have training facilities in Jersey. You got the stadium that's in Jersey, MetLife. You got the Prudential Center where the New Jersey Devils are. Don't forget, I have to remind myself, Sixers and Flyers both train in the state of New Jersey as well. Get your thoughts that look, momentum is building. We keep throwing these little stories out there. New Jersey open for business right now when it comes to professional sports, Renee.
Yeah, I think you're going to start seeing all the states with pro teams, whether it be the NFL, WNBA, NBA. You're going to start seeing all those states open up. That's going to have to be the trend because again, if the NBA is pushing the envelope and you see the Disney World talks and dates forming, well, the states are going to have to get on board and allow players to openly train. And when I say openly train, it gets complicated trying to private train all the time. Like they need to be able to train like the other states.
Yeah, we're going to talk about how complicated it can get when you're trying to, train privately. Ivan Curtis, your thoughts. Also, can't forget about the New York Red Bull over there in Harrison, outside right
Right.
there in Newark. I used to go by the stadium all the time. They're also going to be open for business as well because MLS, those teams are training as we speak.
I mean, it was expected to me. I mean, because like you said, a relationship between New York and New Jersey with the professional teams is, I mean, it's tight knit. I mean, so it makes sense. And I'm with Renee. Like the more and more states start opening up, especially with NBA franchises, it's gonna push the envelope and and get people getting the right to it. And like you said, be able to openly train instead of training in private or individually or trying to get workouts done the best way you can. So, like I said, it was to be expected, and I'm excited about it. So I want it to happen, and it's great to see.
Yeah, I was also thinking about when you look at New York and New Jersey, not a lot of differences there. A lot of lock and step, a lot of uh, you know, decisions being made at the same time. I guess you look at that pact that they have with the Northeast states, that you're starting to see a lot of the action being done by all of these governors. So, does this make you feel better that the prospects of professional sports to return, especially when they're giving those guys the okay? Hey, go ahead and do your thing. It's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's one of the things that I saw that the NBA players were complaining about in Disneyland and this Disney World. This might be off topic, but the testing, the like, it's a complaint that the players don't want the swab nose testing. So if
That
that's
looks
the case,
painful. Whew.
yeah, it's supposed to be painful. So if that is the case, I'm curious to what these states that are opening, like what will be the format of how to test while training per se. So I'm just curious because the players have stated they don't want that nose swab. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Oh, now I saw Cuomo do the test live on TV at one of his press conferences. He
Yeah,
took it like a champ. That was very good. But a
he
guy
had
like me
to.
that has allergies, like that's the last thing I want is something going up my nose. That long old swab like that. Now I'm good, bro. Like, no, I'm good. You got to do something else, man, to figure it out. I'm not taking that swab.
hey, I mean he's older. He probably, I mean, it's probably not that much feeling.
You know what? Yeah, so I'm
I
just
mean, but this looks painful. Like,
it does. My sister, she's a pharmacist. Shout out to the frontline workers. Because people don't really consider, like, people talk about the nurses and stuff a lot, but my sister, she's a pharmacist. And so when everybody was bunkered up at home, my sister didn't have that luxury. She still had to go to work. So shouts to my sister, but she had to get the test done and she was like, oh yeah, that hurts. Like it hurts.
Yeah. Gosh, like how far back is that? They
it's
have to
like
just.
eight
It's
inches.
almost
Far.
like, yeah, it's
It's
like
like eight
going.
inches.
It's like it's touching your daggone eyeball, dude. Like I
Yeah.
can't, dude. Like I can't imagine. OG,
Hey,
you
it just made me think that.
don't want
I
any
s-
parts of that.
No, I seen somebody make a tweet like after they watched that video, they just say, "Man, I got it. You don't have to test me."
You know what?
Just put me to the side for 2 weeks. I'll be good. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what's crazy because, like, for instance, the NBA, like, you see those people do it one time, but I feel like we'd have to get tested frequently if you're a athlete. So, who wants to do that weekly? Like, it might be. So, people are probably thinking, "Oh, they're soft." No, they're saying that every other day you don't want to get that done. Okay, maybe once for what most people will happen, but with athletes, whatever testing they decide, it's going to be repetitive.
Yeah, good stuff there. So as we wait on Mark Spears to join us, he's going to be calling on any moment now, Coach K. I'll be on the lookout for Mark Spears to be calling in. Um, just want to get you guys' thought, man. The playoff plus format. We're going to ask Mark Spears about this, but we've seen what that entails. You know, it could be 20 to 24 teams. We know we'll get the 16 that you typically get, right? And then you get the
Hmm.
four teams out west. They're all jumbled up. You know, you got the I guess you'd have the Pelicans, the Trailblazers, teams like that,
Yeah.
Spurs, teams like that, Grizzlies, and then I guess what do you do with the East? Do you just make it 20 or do you make it 24? So, what are you guys' thoughts
Nobody
on this?
wants to
And
watch
and not only
24
that, just
teams in the
well, I
East.
mean, you got to have a play-in tournament. So, I mean, I guess what's the best way to configure this thing? Just go straight with the 20 or 24, or have some little play-in where maybe you figure out those last two, see, playoff teams from each division and open it up, and maybe have like a pool of like 4 to 6 or 8 teams fighting for the last two slots. I guess 6 through 7 through 8 or whatever. How do you think this should be played out? We'll go with you, Renee.
I don't know, but I was going to say that I wonder. I don't know. I should have probably done the research, but I wonder if this is a result of Damian Lillard because there's certain players that were on the bubble, and he had
Yeah.
made that strong statement that like y'all can keep it if y'all just gonna give me those 7 games, and he basically like y'all can keep it. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm just curious if this is because once he said that, I'm sure a lot of other players that weren't going to make it felt the same way. And they probably are. So this looks like this is a result of a player voicing their opinion that you could keep them 7 games.
Your thoughts on this, OG? What do you think about the playoff format? Do you want just 16 teams? How do you want this thing structured? I want to get your thoughts on that.
I mean, like what Renee said, what Dame said. I mean, it makes perfect sense. I mean, because nobody wants to be playing for nothing. I think the best way it, to me to structure it is that like if it depends on the gap between those lower seed teams, and
Yeah.
it has to be a cutoff at some point
I
because
guess teams 7 through 10 or 11. I guess the
yeah,
Western Conference teams, they were jumbled within 3-4 games, and when you look at the schedules and the modeling, it looks like maybe the Pelicans had the greatest advantage, but they were what, ninth or 10th. So how do we know? What about the Blazers? They were 11th or 10th maybe. I mean, and then the East teams, everybody's way behind Orlando, who's
And
already the
that's
eighth
why
seed.
and that's
So
exactly
yeah,
why in the WNBA we don't have the East West conferences anymore per se like that. We
bingo.
like it's talked about like oh in the East and the West, but when we start breaking it up into the playoff format, like that's how a team like my Minnesota team and the Los Angeles Sparks team were able to go to the finals 3 years straight because we took out that barrier. So they're if they are going to start to do some cuts or figure it out, it should be record based and not necessarily regional based.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I mean, and I think we really need that in the NBA to a
Yeah, I
point
think something
because
good could come of that where they start to see that, wow, we have more of the like the high and it's not just, oh, we like the West and the West is better than the East. It's not even about that. It's about records. So you could even take who like if people wanted to even do head to head, well, okay, if we're looking at the East record person at the seventh place East team and the seventh place West team, how did they fare head to head? A lot of times the West team will win that matchup because the West teams do beat the East teams more
True.
often than not. So there's different like there's fair ways to go about it, I would say.
I mean, and I'm
This is
even think
go ahead, OJ.
I'm
This is an
think
opportunity that Silver talked about to sort of try some things. No conferences, let's travel. Just open it up 1 through 16.
I'm thinking about the
NCAA
potential
style.
the potential matchup of the Clippers and Lakers for the finals.
Can
Like
you
I mean,
imagine?
like
Yeah.
And that they're thinking that too.
right. I mean, we need that type of excitement. I mean, we've kind of been flatlined in the NBA where of course, the Warriors had their run straight. The Miami Heat
LeBron in the
had their
East.
run.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we need that type of competition. I mean, instead of knowing uh, certain teams are just not going to be it worth watching or any good. They just in the playoffs because, like in the East, there's not too much competition in the East. I mean, you probably got your first 1 through 4, maybe 5 teams, and then after that, it's a tremendous drop off.
It
Which
is.
is in the West, it's loaded. Like it's teams that won't make the playoffs under the current format, and they would probably go over to the East and win it. Like I mean, or
Well,
at least be
maybe not win it,
competing.
but they could
Yeah,
compete.
Be
that'd be
Maybe win
competitive.
cool.
around. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely better. The West 7 through 12 teams are definitely better than the East 6 through 10. Or 6 through 8 even, or
Yeah.
5 through 8 basically. I mean, really, you look at the East, it's basically
Everybody's going
it's
west.
Toronto, it's Boston, it's Milwaukee,
It can be
and
some
Philly. That's pretty much
redefined
it. Yeah,
legacies
maybe the
involved with that
Pacers.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's a lot of players that's good in the West that may not ever sniff the Western Conference Finals or anything, just due to the fact it's loaded over there. So I think it could change a lot of people's legacy too.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's move on. We're still talking about the NBA while we're waiting on Mark Spears to call in. He just texted me. He was in the middle of something. He's going to be calling in any moment now, Coach K. The NBA playoffs, we talked about the playoffs plus format. Families at Disney. So they're working on trying to incorporate the families. We talked about that. It's a great place. If I'm a family, I'd love to. We got Mark Spears now? All right, well, let's go straight to Mark Spears. We'll come back to this
Cut
debate.
that. Mark
And
is here.
let's get
Forget
Go
that.
straight-
We're
go
going to
straight
Mark. I like
Spears.
it.
All right, joining us now here live on Esports Extra. We'll take your phone calls 877-853-5247. Meeting ID is Esport Extra. Hit the pound button twice to join the show. We'll talk now to a good buddy of mine, senior NBA writer for ESPN's The Undefeated. You can check out all of his stuff on theundefeated.com. Does a great job covering the National Basketball Association. Mark, what's up with you, man? Where are you at today on a Thursday, man? You on the West Coast?
You act like I could go somewhere. Oh man, bro, I'm in the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my office in Oakland, California, where I've been for the last 3 months.
Oakland, California. That's sir. Stand up, Oakland. Well, I didn't mean like you were traveling the country or traveling the globe, like globetrotting, but maybe on an assignment covering something. You are a very good writer and a very talented person at ESPN. Now, come on.
Well, thank you for that. Actually, it's interesting. Like during the first month and a half of this year, for good and bad reasons, I did about as much traveling in that span as I've done in my career. Kobe passed, David Stern passed. So I was like really all over the country, and I was like, man, I probably went to 10 different cities. And now I haven't been to a place since late February. So it's certainly been a change and much slower pace for me and for the world, so to speak.
Yeah, good stuff. Talking with Mark Spears, senior NBA writer for ESPN's The Undefeated, here live on Esports Extra. Larry Ridley from SNY TV. Also got Ivan Curtis, the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets 2K League team, Brooklyn Nets gaming crew. Also Renee Montgomery, two-time WNBA champ for the Atlanta Dream. Mark, let's dive straight into the NBA, man. A lot of thoughts out there, man, with the NBA.
Hey, hold on real quick.
Go ahead.
I like 2K.
Yeah. I know you do.
Hey, let's get it.
Hey, man. Hey, Red. And I watched your Manning League the other day, and I've been watching 2K. I'm like, maybe I don't know if these dudes is all that great offensively. Defensively, they're good on the Manning thing. And then I'm watching this 2K League, and I'm like, I could play.
You could. Now, what would you be? Would you be a guard or, a slasher? Would you be a rim protector? Because you played in college.
I would want to be one of the bigs, because it seems like their bigs that I've been watching in 2K League have really, and they're terrible at finishing, and they do 10 up fakes and stuff like that. I'm like, man, dunk it. You know what I mean? So maybe, now that I got this free time, coach can offer me an opportunity to try out.
Ooh, he wants to try out.
The Nets are in flux. They could use a player of your caliber, actually. Go ahead, Isaac.
I'm really good virtually.
That sounds great.
Virtually, dog.
I like that.
Definitely we need to have that talk.
Yeah. Maybe at least give you a 6-man or something. Put him on the payroll, man, so you can get an NBA
check. There you go. I don't even have to play. I'm on the team right now, man.
I got you. Hey, you get a free place to live as well, man. They give you free benefits and everything.
I mean,
in the NBA 2K League, it's a good deal, Mark.
Wealth over there at NBA
man.
2K.
Hey, man, I got good benefits. Disney take care of me.
I know.
I don't even need no benefits. They don't even have to pay me. I just want to,
He just wants to play.
I just want to attend that.
We need that A plus caliber content. So I definitely take care of it.
You're gonna get a damn good writer, that's for sure. You're gonna write about the league and promote it, that's for sure. All right, Mark, let's talk about the NBA, man. This playoffs plus format. What are you thinking? The play-in tournament, anywhere from 20 to 24 teams, we're hearing. What's the latest in the National Basketball Association and your circles, what you're hearing?
What I'm hearing is extremely fluid. Every hour, everybody has a different scenario. It's Vegas and Orlando. Then I'll just tell you everything I've heard. I've heard Vegas, Orlando. I've heard Bahamas a month ago. I heard maybe some games in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Now you hear a tournament. Then you hear, maybe the 7th team plays the 10th team, and the 8th team plays the 19th. One thing somebody from the NBA told me was, don't believe all you read, because everything is on the board. So there's nothing like etched in stone. There's nothing decided. There's just a bunch of things that's been bandied about and talked about. But from everything I've heard, July, Orlando seems very likely. I just think at this point, maybe the NBA should make some hard decisions and just go 8 teams from each conference, start the playoffs. I know it could be tough from a financial standpoint because there could be some concerns over sponsorship money not reaching the amount of games needed in order to hit that mark that they need to get to. But less is more right now. 16 teams. It's like NBA Survivor. One round they lose, and then that cuts the amount of people there in half.
Hunger Games.
So I just think that the quicker they get to the playoffs, the quicker it gets less people, the less people that could, be in peril. And it's still, even if it comes back, it doesn't guarantee that somebody won't get sick.
Mm-hmm.
Something horrible could happen. That's my fear. So if you are going to get back, I think less is definitely the best way to go.
So you don't like the idea of finishing out the regular season or having some sort of ramp up, maybe 4, 5, 6 games? And you did mention the TV contracts with the regional sports networks. I work with one. We run the Mets baseball stuff, so we don't really have to worry about that from an NBA perspective. But you did bring that up. How much of that is an issue for the NBA and maybe trying to get some regular season games? But I also know they don't want all 30 teams there as well. So this is going to be a delicate little balance, a little dance they're going to do.
Yeah, if like 70 is the benchmark, then Spurs need to play 7 games. Because they're at 63. So everybody's not uniform. Some teams need 5, some teams need 4, some teams need 6, some teams need 7. So 5 games don't get the Spurs there. That's the thing that's confusing. Like either if you either be all in and just finish it all, or go to the playoffs. Like all these weird scenarios, and like when it's all said and done, somebody's going to get their feelings hurt. That's just inevitable. That's the state of where the NBA and the world of sports is right now. Everybody's not going to be happy. You look at the NHL, like what they decided to do. But I just really think like you're talking about 9 hotels, bringing everybody to Disney. Some teams will get better hotels than others because everybody can't.
Everybody can't stay at the Swan and the Dolphin. You're right.
Yeah. Just you put me at the World Resort Marriott, I'm fine. But there's just so much. It's just too many people involved. So, and it's going to take too long. I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but less is more, man. If you're making Mark Spears commissioner, Memphis, you made it. You're the A seed, and go ahead and take that butt whooping in the first round. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Like let's get to it. Let's get out of there in less than 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Play every other day. Western Conference one day, Eastern Conference the other, till you get to the end.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would add maybe a little play-in element for seeds 7 through maybe 10. That way you got 4 teams trying to vie for those last 2 spots. That way, teams 9 and 10 can say, all right, we at least had a chance with being 15.
Yeah, but if you look at the Eastern Conference, like
it's bad.
Do you have the standings in front of you?
I do. I think Orlando was the 8th place team. I think
But let's go to the West. If you look at the Western Conference standings,
sure,
you're talking about like 8 through 12.
Yeah.
If you really look at it, like what Portland is like, read it off. Like,
yeah, I think it's
you got 3 teams that are
Memphis,
tied,
Portland,
and then
also the Pelicans as well.
Yeah, but no, keep going. Who has the next record?
I think it was. I think the Spurs were 12th.
Yeah, but they're all like basically what I'm saying. The 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th team. Like I think 9, 10, and 11 are tied, and 12th is a half a game behind them.
And
so
then
should the 12th team be punished?
I think they're all within like 3 games of each other from like basically 7 through 12. So you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So. It's
so to
too
piggyback,
close,
yeah. So how do you feel about, speaking of that, how do you feel about a player like Damian Lillard, who was like, if we only do the same games, he would rather not play? Like, what are your thoughts on that for the players that it's a tight race, but they don't want to just come in for that little bit? I guess it kind of speaks to what you said, just cut it off, make the hard decision.
Yeah, and I think a lot of players actually probably be more okay with it than you think. Like if you're the Knicks, yeah, you're Atlanta, yeah, you got young guys, but you want to train for 3 weeks to play 5 games? You want to fly there? Like that's a lot, man. So
Yeah.
and then you want them to go like to Portland. So we're gonna go to Portland. We're gonna train for 3 weeks, and then we're gonna fly as a team to Orlando. And then I'm gonna have to be there for like 2 weeks, and then we're gonna play like a week's worth of games. It just,
Yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
lot.
like I think the NBA. I think now it's gotten to the point where the speculation has just gotten so crazy. NBA just needs to give an answer, man. What do y'all want to do, man?
And I think that's going to come next week.
It's almost
Buck
like
Hunter was
it's
talking
almost
about
like a
that.
little, and it's scary because the health scare that's involved with it. I understand, like this isn't a little kid deciding what kind of ice cream flavor to pick. This is a serious deal, and lives could be at stake, and they will be at stake, and then health could be at stake. So it's not an easy decision, but like gets to my original point, like every day it's a different scenario until the NBA finally decides it. Hopefully it'll come next week. It's truly seriously fluid in anybody's guess.
Yeah, the Bucks owner talked about some sort of NBA restart. They're going to have a call next week, and hopefully we'll get a plan sometime next week. Well, let's go to Paul Pierce and LeBron James. We were there with the Celtics. We did a lot of work together when you were at the Boston Globe before you became a big-time star. Just get your thoughts on the spitting. Paul Pierce, he copped up to it and said, yeah, it happened. It was a preseason game, right? It was in Dayton. I don't even remember this, Mark, and we covered that team like
Preseason
every
game in
day.
Dayton.
I think it was something. I think that's what he said, right? It was like
what year did he say? What year it was?
2004.
2004. Okay, so
Okay,
that was before we got
I
there. I
didn't
wasn't
start
there.
coming to. Yeah, I started covering the team from 2007 to 9.
I got
So
there in
that would
06.
have been LeBron's. Yeah, that would have been LeBron's rookie year.
Yep.
And so I was covering the Denver Nuggets at the time. So Pierce isn't one to mince words or saying, but I will say this: the battles that me and Larry saw them have, a young LeBron and a Pierce in his prime, outstanding. And that's actually when they gave us good seats and we were close.
Yeah.
We could really watch what was going on.
On the floor.
Like the battle between this young bull and this formidable band of brothers.
What's up, all you cool Captain Kinsey?
Like I'd actually, they're playing so many of these old games, like that 2008, I believe it was Eastern Conference Finals.
Eastern Conference
I would
semis.
love
He went 7 games. Yep.
Yeah, that, and I remember LeBron having some crazy big game, but they still lost. And didn't they go games? They went 7 games, right?
7 games. He had
Like
45,
that,
and I think Pierce had 41 in that game 7. Yeah.
That was one of the best playoff games I've ever been. I'd love to see that again. But yeah, I mean, Pierce is. I'm gonna tell you what. Pierce is one of the greatest competitors I've ever been around in my life. To me, I call him the Black Larry Bird. He wasn't like overly gifted athletically, but he was gifted in terms of skills, which coaches can appreciate that. And he just believed he could beat anybody in anything. I saw him beat the Black Widow in a pool competition. I saw Paul Pierce also win a 3-point competition in I believe it was in Houston maybe. And I think he had a couple afterwards, and he started screaming at me when he saw me like later that night. You didn't think I was gonna win. You didn't think I was gonna win.
Who did he shoot against?
That was a 3-point shootout. That was like, what was that? 08, 09, somewhere around there. Yeah.
No,
yeah, I was just saying who was in that group. I'm just curious who was in that particular group.
I just know he wasn't the favorite.
Yeah,
I think
for him
we were
to
in
win
New Orleans, maybe.
I think it was New Orleans. It was
either
08 or 09. Yeah, it was one of those years.
Yeah, but he won it, and that like just to show me, he to me is actually one of the. He's a very underappreciated superstar. He was the greatest closer I've ever seen. End of the game, last 5 minutes, you just give him the ball, mid-range jumper, pass for a dunk, get fouled to the line. there's no player I've ever seen be able to put a team away better than him.
Oh, good stuff,
Outstanding
man.
at that.
You're right. And even in 2010, they had those guys as well.
I think, did he do backflip dunks all the time? No. He's the only guy I saw talk trash to Kobe. He and Kobe almost got in a fight during the All-Star game, which to me is an even bigger story. But Pierce was definitely the mouth of LA. He was born in Oakland. He had a lot of swag, and hopefully one day we can appreciate him and his story more.
Yeah, Inglewood's own, man. But just I like and I appreciate the fact that they just didn't want to kiss the ring of LeBron. I remember I told the guys that 2010 team, they stumbled to a fourth place finish. I'm like, guys, you're going to get the Cavs in the semifinals. And they're like, so and well, we'll beat LeBron. We actually want them. That's an easier route for us. And they went out and did it.
Yeah.
Went back to the finals again in 2010.
Yeah.
So those great Pierce and that big three team.
And Larry, if Kevin Garnett
doesn't get hurt in 09
in 2008-09 season,
yep.
I think the Celtics might have three-peated.
Yep.
Maybe Kobe doesn't get those two titles.
I agree.
Like that they were, when Garnett got hurt that next season, they were better than
2010 when they were up 3-2 against LA.
Yeah. So they certainly have some asterisks that could have changed history a lot, especially that Kevin Garnett injury. But that Celtics team, had health not failed them, could have easily been a three-peat team.
I agree. Lastly, want to get you out of here, man. I told you I would only keep you 10 minutes. We've gone over a little bit. Want to get your thoughts. Knicks, should they hire, our buddy Tibbs, Thibodeau, or I guess he's going by Thibodeau now, or do you like Kenny Atkinson? What would be the play if you're the Knickerbockers?
Get a more diverse group of people to interview.
You don't like either one of them.
I
Wow.
love it.
So no Coach Tibbs?
I love Tibbs. I think Tibbs is a great coach. I just like to see him more, and if he gets the job, I have no problem with it. But I definitely like to see a more diverse group of candidates.
Yeah, well, we'll see. They talked about Mark Jackson. They talked about Van Gundy. It looks like they've fallen by the wayside. And here in New York, that's all the buzz right now. It's Tibbs or maybe.
Well, and also, like, again, Tibbs is my guy, so Tibbs is fine, Mark. But start looking at some of these younger guys. You know what I mean? Like David Vanderpool, excellent. You know what I mean? Jamal Mosley. You have so many like assistant coaches that were like Atkinson, who like basically paved their way and did everything, and like try some new people. Like look at that. So if they hire Tibbs, that's fine. And I think Tibbs is an amazing coach and an amazing person. But my guess is knowing the guys now running New York and knowing Scott Perry and Perrin and
Rose. Yep.
There's going to be Leon Rose. There'll be a more diverse group of people interviewing. It's just you got those New York reporters who are always throwing out the same names because they love those certain people.
That is true. And they can also say, look, we tried to go young. We went with David.
Yeah, every time the next job open, you hear the same names: Van Gundy, Mark Jackson.
They're called retreads.
Thibodeau.
Yep.
And they're all great coaches, amazing coaches. But the New York Riders, they keep bringing up the same names every time. I'm like, y'all don't know anybody else outside the well.
They're just trying to go back to 1994, man. That's what it's about with the Knicks. Take us back to 94. Yeah. Mark, man, we really appreciate you, man, taking some time, and you did not have to do this. We know you're very busy, man. We really appreciate it, man.
Man, shut up, man.
I'm serious, man.
Go back.
I know, but I'm serious. You're professional.
I love it.
This is for the audience. Man.
This cheesy stuff. Me and you boys, man, we go back.
No, we do.
Let's don't keep it all sunshiny, man. You my guy, man. You need me to come on, I'll come on.
Hey, I like that.
I love that.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have a travel budget right now, so you be traveling on your own time.
Me. You got me on all these planes right now. I'm right here at home, bro. I got free time. Hit me up.
Cool. Hey, when the NBA season starts, we'll definitely hit you back up the next month or two, man. But appreciate it, man. Be safe out there in Oaktown, bro.
All right, later.
Good stuff, man. Mark Spears, the great Mark Spears, senior NBA writer for ESPN's The Undefeated. You
Yeah,
can check
he's
him out
awesome.
undefeated.com. He just put me at my place. I like that.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah, me
like
and
that
Spears go
too.
back, man. I was
He
in
said,
Boston in
Larry
06,
Laptop.
07.
He basically said, stop being Larry Laptop.
I
I'm your
know.
boy.
I'm your
That's
boy.
literally what he said.
Yeah,
But
he did say
hey,
that.
Yeah,
I
man,
gotta be professional. I gotta put some basically. It's like, dude, shut up, man. You my boy. I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
but I still gotta reach out. I mean, you're a busy
right.
guy. We're all busy. We're all
Oh,
professionals, right?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Renee, you don't have to be here. We're tight, but you could be like, hey, I got something to do, or
Yeah,
I'm busy. I'm like, look, I got stuff to do. I got kids. I got a career.
you are
OG's
right.
running a daggone organization. You got stuff to
A
do.
whole
A
organization.
whole organization with
Hey,
sponsors.
dedication, man. I'm here. Like,
You
We
are.
here. We're in
Well,
here.
since you running stuff, put some cheese on our taco, man. Since you
Right.
running stuff.
hey, relax. We ain't even played a game yet. Like, y'all can't see the imaginary bricks on my shoulders right now.
Yeah, no, okay.
Hey,
I'm with it.
We
I see
three,
the
we 3
vision.
weeks behind. Like,
Listen, I see the vision. I'm a patient person in that aspect. So,
yeah. All right. I hear you. Let's move on. Thanks for Mark Spurs for joining us. We'll take your phone calls live here on esportsXTRA, the only live call-in sports show talking esports and traditional sports here on Twitch, Mixer, Facebook, and YouTube. 877-853-5247. Meeting ID esportsXTRA. That's 377-678-9872. Hit that pound button twice to join the show. All right, guys. The ESPYs every summer, usually in July. It's usually a very slow time. There's no sports going on when the ESPYs are on the air. They're going remote this year, going virtual. I want to get your thoughts on the ESPYs and how you think it'll be done. I know one of your former UConn players is going to be one of the co-hosts on that.
yes, and this is going to be a recurring theme. So, I hope you guys don't get mad. Of course, the ESPYs chose a well educated, high basketball pedigree person from the School of University of Connecticut. I was so proud when I saw that. My fellow Husky, if y'all don't know, we're talking about Sue Bird, will be hosting alongside Russell Wilson and Megan Rapone. Is that how you say her name? Rapino. Sorry,
Yep.
Rapino. But it's gonna be amazing. I'm excited for it. You have to go virtual, so no shocker there.
Yeah, I mean this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could have just had some people on the stage, and they could have probably social distanced. I mean,
Ah.
but I mean, you weren't going to have any fans, but I guess you could have had the presenters there. But I
No,
mean, that's
because
what it would have
because those things literally have people be seat fillers. So to tell them to social distance would go against everything in their core. People are literally given tickets just to be seat fillers.
Yeah. Your thoughts on this Ivan Curtis, NBA 2K League, Brooklyn Nets, where Brooklyn at?
I mean, yeah, virtual. Then also they mentioned maybe appearance from Sierra here and there or whatever. So
Oh.
see how that goes. But
Well, I mean, she's going to be in the room right next to
Yeah,
him.
I was just about to say Russell
But-
Wilson's
All you gotta do
hosting
is
it.
turn the camera around. Hey, baby. That was
Facts.
But
Sierra,
yeah,
guys.
I mean, so yeah,
I mean, because Birdie and Megan, I'm sure will be at the same place too. So I don't think that that's going to be a coincidence. The kids might perform too. You know, I don't know, but they might make it a family affair at that point. I don't know.
That is true.
I was
That is
I was
true.
just speaking on the fact of getting a glimpse at Sierra. So
Oh my goodness.
so yeah, but no, I mean, and yeah, everything's pretty much gonna be virtual. The only thing about it for me, I guess, is just well, I guess every candidate be propped and ready if they
Yeah.
win or whatever. But that's always like the interesting part to see, like everybody's set up, like and who wins, how the presentation,
Yeah.
how it looks and stuff like that. That's what I look forward to. That was the same expectations in that I have for like the WNBA draft. Is like seeing
Yep.
how like you got multiple selections and just like trying to figure out like what team they was gonna select them. So and the same thing in this is like seeing who gets selected as the winner for each category.
Right.
And just seeing the presentation. I think that's always
So I guess
it's
everyone has
more-
to be in on the Zoom call. And
yeah, like
live.
it's you kind of anticipate it more now
Yeah.
than you did before. So that's
Right.
what I'm looking
Absolutely.
forward to.
And like the
And-
Disney at home concerts where you don't know what the concert's going to look like. John Legend was sitting at the piano. You don't know what the production's going to be.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm
Sure.
excited to see that.
All right, good stuff. Moving on, Russell Wilson. We were just talking about dangerous. He wants Antonio Brown. I don't blame him. He wants a good receiver. He's got DK Metcalf, but if you can add another piece to that Seahawk offense, now I think they're cooking with grease. What do you think? You think it's a good fit between Dangerous and AB?
Yeah.
Can Dangerous keep his butt in line?
Well,
we know
no,
he
so-
would listen to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson got enough cred where he can kind of pull him to the side and put him in the choke and be like, look here, man.
I don't think it's going to be
Straight up.
about that. So AB's work ethic has never been questioned. So anybody that talks about AB, it's never his work ethic or on the field stuff. And from what I know about Seattle from playing there, and from Coach Pete Carroll, all they want is people to compete hard every day. And they're kind of that. They have that vibe where come as you are, make sure you compete. So, Marshawn Lynch esque, like so. If AB comes in, does his work, and competes, I think that's probably the best place for him to be.
Yeah, you like it, AB, with Dangerous, or you like another destination for Antonio Brown?
No, I like it. I mean, and then also winning franchises for a lot of players. Those are especially like in his situation. Those are good places for him to be. I mean, yeah, we want you to come here. We want you to be here, but it's not always like we need you in order to compete. Like you make us better, but it's not the same type of reliance. So I think it's more helpful to AB to go to a team like that. And then Russell, he's kind of been looked at as like the transformer of people. So I think it'll be a great QB wide receiver relationship. It's also, AB obviously got some issues that needs to be cleared up before anybody can
But that's what I was going to
can
say,
get a
because
hold of
no
it.
one in the NFL even knows about the suspension. Like it
Yeah,
hasn't even.
And he's
I think
facing a lengthy one. He hasn't even been suspended yet.
But
The
that's what I'm saying. The
investigation is still
NFL
ongoing. Yeah.
basically, yeah, the NFL basically is, I guess, waiting for people to show interest, because, like, if no one's going to show interest, why are you going to announce a suspension? But I think it's time now for the NFL to start doing their investigation. They need to start doing stuff, because that could affect what the coaches want to do. Like,
See, I
if,
don't think that's right though. How they're doing him, it's like, look, if the investigation is complete, suspend
yeah,
him and give him his
and
punishment.
let
But
people know.
it's like a dark cloud over his head. It's like, dude, we're just gonna sit here. If no one wants to get him, then that's okay. We don't have to announce anything. And it's like, if
That's
someone does sign him, then they
then
make an
now you're
announcement.
suspended a year. It's
Yeah,
like, no, yeah. So something
yeah,
needs to happen with that. I think it will, now that you start hearing the chatter. They also said that AB has new management. What is it? EMG Sports. So,
yeah. No
that
longer
whole
with my
thing.
guy Drew Rosenhaus. That's true.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, he has new management now. So I say that to say he has the management now. He has a team interested. I think it's time. Like somebody needs to tell him what his fate is, I would say.
Yeah, that's a good point there. We'll see about AB. Look, it's got to happen this year. He set out pretty much all of last year except one game. He played with New England against Miami early in the season, so he missed 15 games last year. Yeah, he's probably going to miss if he is reinstated, he's probably looking at bare minimum, probably a half a season.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know legally, well not legally, but I guess throughout the NFL's actions, what sort of suspension he's looking at. Let's go. Keep it with the NFL. Noah Spence. Never heard of that name. I mean, I've kind of vaguely heard of it, but once I read the story, I'm like, oh, this is what happened. So this is, I guess, the consequences of training by yourself in COVID during this pandemic. But he has a torn ACL, looks like, or it's looking like a torn ACL. So
Oh,
that's
that's
just
that
that's gotta be
athlete's worst.
it's just
That's literally
be
my
tough.
worst nightmare. Like I even like when I saw it on there, I like cringed. Like it's like, because as an athlete in the off season, you obviously need to train, and so you can do a lot of individual workouts, which is what pretty much base most of my training on. But then you want to get a little bit of a play in to do rhythm. You want to get movement in to do rhythm, and you always, I mean, that's just always the fear of yours. So it's just unfortunate. Like I said, it pains me to even read it.
Yeah, Ivan, how disappointing is it for him, and how unfortunate was it to read that news that he hurt himself, individual workout, trying to get better, and then was going to be lost for a season. Just got signed by the Saints not too long
Yeah.
ago. Played with the Bucks last year.
yeah. I mean, I'm aware of. I mean, he was a Buckeye for a little while, so I know who he was. But it's one of those type of situations I always look at with professional athletes. It's like your health is always like a blessing because you put your body through the test, and typically you're not even supposed to be able to do the things that most athletes do, and they're blessed to be able to do it. And so, I mean, it's just so unfortunate. I mean, especially what's going on right now with them actually not even trained. They're not even
Yeah.
training, and then getting hurt, and
But it
extra
makes it bad, because this actually would have been the train time. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah.
had things, as an athlete, he's probably thinking had things went different. They also placed him on reserve, which means that,
Injured reserve, yeah.
so just for people to understand, that means that he won't be able to, obviously he won't be able to play, but that means that he won't count against them in their roster. So now you might not get picked. Like, there's a lot of different
Yeah,
things that go into that, as like, so that's why it's just a tough thing to happen, because everybody's training. So
Sure.
you can't, like, if you're thinking that, well, why was he training anyway? Everyone's training. You have to train to get ready for the season. So it's just unfortunate.
Well, this time they would be training because usually mini camps, usually
That's what I was
within the NFL
saying.
schedule, they're usually in June, early June. So you got those mini
Exactly.
camps going on with the vets and things of that nature. May is usually time for the other OTAs with the rookies and things of that nature. So end of May and into June usually get mini camps. So sad situation for Noah Spence. Hopefully he can recover from this uh, reported torn ACL. All right, NBA 2K League got an update. We'll bring it to Ivan Curtis and let him take it away. What's going on? What's the latest with the league, man? It's a Thursday night. Got games for a third straight night this week. Who's hot? Who's not? Who's up? Who's down?
Yeah, just starting off with updates from last night. Pistons GT recorded their first win in a winless game. Lakers game, and they've been competitive all year. They haven't been able to get a win in the column yet, but Ramo dominated in that series. Averaged 25 points, 4 assists. He's playing on a scoring build at the moment. So he got the best of them last night. Blazer 5 continue their role. My Mom That Man is still
He's dead man.
that man.
Yeah.
They're 4-0. They defeated Knicks Gaming. He averaged 34 points, 7 assists, shot 60% throughout the series. Typical thing about Blazer 5 is like they're undefeated, and that we're playing a series of the best of 3, but teams are taking them to the third game. So that's a real interesting stat to look out for as we continue remote play, is getting them to that third game, and you get a chance to knock a team off if you can sustain those series. One Wild Walnut, was dominant in the paint.
Former MVP from 2018.
Yeah, they have the only MVPs of our league right now on the same team. So,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Walnut, 10 points, almost 11 points, 12, almost 13 rebounds, and 4 blocks for that series. T-Wolves Gaming, they defeated Gen G last night. Bear the Beast was back at it, 33 points, 8.5 assists.
Just show
they
the picture.
improved to 5-1. Wizards District Gaming defeated Celtics Gaming. Unfortunately, right now, Celtics crossover is 0-2.
We are winless. Yeah. What's up with Rico? We got to get him on the show. Like, Rico, man. Hey, your name is Hennessy. You got to get the boys the Hennessy. Then they'll play better.
This year's number 1 draft pick, JBM, averaged 30 points and 7.5 assists.
I
Shot
think
73%.
Hennessy's the official sponsor of the NBA, right?
I
don't know.
I think so.
One of them.
I don't drink, so I have no idea. I just know if Hennessy rhymes with it.
Yeah, I'm not into it either, but I just thought that would be a cool nugget.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wraps up last night's game. Some intriguing games tonight. It was a postponement with Heat Check and 76ers game of the night. Technical difficulties.
Hey, we talked about that. It seems like every other day, or
yeah,
damn near every day, there's some glitches there. Is that something being talked about throughout league circles on, making look, it's hard. It's virtual. You're going to have this. Nothing you can do about it. But how much talk is there about this?
They'll be rescheduled, obviously, throughout the season. So I mean, it's something that we already. I'm on the competition committee, so it was something that we had talked about ahead of time. So we're pretty much prepared for it if it happens. Fortunately for us, it hasn't happened. If you think we're in our 4th week, and it's only happened 3 times. So not a lot, but definitely something that we don't want to happen. But we know that it's a possibility. So those games will get rescheduled, whether we're still playing remote later in the season, or I would hope that we can get back to our roots and get on the stage, because that's definitely.
Well, let me ask you this. You just brought up playing live, back in the studio this year, not at the Brooklyn studios in Long Island City, but here in Manhattan now. How much talk is there? Because they said the first 6 weeks definitely will be virtual. What week is this? 3 or 4? This is week 3, right? 4. Okay, 4. There's only 2 more weeks then, right? In that early proposal. Well, how much talk is there about, hey, we got to extend the virtual. I think they probably will. I don't think they're going to go to the studio in 2 weeks, are they?
I mean, if you had to ask me, I mean, we haven't talked about it. I'm sure it's coming.
That's
We
better be coming. It's only 2 weeks left.
Right.
I mean, most of our minds, we're already looking at it.
Sure.
As it being extended remote play because New York is not even up and running. Not like Hotlanta. So
look, if I can't go into a restaurant and sit my butt down, y'all can't sit your butts in those seats in the studio.
Right, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah,
so
pretty much,
I mean, I'm looking forward to like I said, I can imagine it being extended. I mean, if you ask me, I wouldn't think anything. If it was to happen, anything earlier than mid-July, late July, or something like that.
That's a good time because I'm thinking we're going to be back in the studio TV-wise sometime next month, probably the end of next month. So I think that's very spot on by you.
One of the funny things that we talk about though is like team, you could possibly be out of the playoff hunt if we were to return live. It'll be one of those things like Dame. You could possibly be showing up to the stage playing games that may not even matter. So it's an interesting situation to be in. Luckily for us right now, we play our first game tomorrow. We haven't really got rolling yet. So I expect us to come out tomorrow and compete and get on the board and improve from that point forward because we got a meaty schedule.
Sure.
Up for the fact that we haven't played the first 3 weeks, so we'll be playing every day next week. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure the guys.
You guys play what Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a tough week.
Yeah. That's good. People always want the games. No one wants practice. So I mean, that's for the players. I'm sure that's like best case scenario.
Well, and we'll get a full recap on Sunday's show to see how you guys did. Sunday afternoon, see how you guys did Friday night. So
I can't wait to hear how you guys do.
Yeah, I mean, will we get some on-camera time for you, man? Where are you going to be at? You probably won't be on camera or anything. I got to get some shots of you.
I'm not sure. I mean, I had nobody.
Dude, you're the coach and GM. What are you going to be doing?
Well, I'm saying that nobody's reached out at the moment. I mean, obviously with all the stuff that we had going on, a lot of things has been delayed. But I'm expecting a lot of people reaching out tomorrow. Because I'm the ultimate, I never say no to content. So
right. Now, while they're playing, will you be in the same room or?
I'll actually be in Discord from here. Yeah, I mean,
we talked about that.
That's,
but I've seen some of the shots. Like it seems like a lot of the teams are playing together in a room.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're at the team apartment.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So they all live in the same place already. You mean?
Yeah, and at the moment, we're looking into getting access to our training facility.
Sure, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
So yeah, we just waiting. Actually, any moment now, we're waiting to get access so they can get in there. Obviously, because our internet is stronger in there, everything is set up and already ready to go. So I think that gives us the best chance to perform at our optimum level.
Good stuff. Well, you got some new players, man. New season, So we'll be rooting on the Brooklyn Nets gaming crew. Definitely
Corey Taylor from Detroit, Michigan is our new player.
What's his gamer tag? It's not Corey Taylor.
Corey Taylor.
It was Black Man Chess.
Yes.
when coming from the amateur ranks, but when sometimes they have to make changes when they get to the pros, and now it's just chess. So good addition to our team.
I like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, we'll be rooting you guys on, man, and I'll make sure the guys are watching as we talk about you guys on Sunday. What time do you play tomorrow? Friday,
7 p.m.
And that's on
ESPN 2.
Oh, you guys are on TV tomorrow.
Yeah,
they got the big ticket.
Yeah, you can catch it on Twitch and YouTube, but it'll be
I'm gonna watch it on the TV. All right, we gotta get some pictures of that. Renee,
I'll be like, look at the broski.
We're gonna be in the group chat. Like, look at that, man. Come on, Nets, what y'all doing?
Hey.
Oh yes, our Nets looking good. So yeah, it's gonna be like coming to America. Oh yes,
I like this. Oh, good one.
Which was a fun fact. I did a show. I don't know if it was a Homeland or one of these shows, but one of the actors was like, Coming to America, people think it's a movie about coming to America based in Queens. It's actually shot though in Brooklyn. That's a TV fact. Shot in Brooklyn, not in Queens. So it's all about Brooklyn.
Okay.
So when they say where Brooklyn at, you're like all over the daggone place. We run it. Where Brooklyn at? All right, let's move it on. Madden has a new deal. We were talking about that at the beginning of the show. EA Sports and the NFL come to an agreement. The new deal, exclusive licensing deal with the NFL and the NFLPA. What is it, Coach? I believe $1 billion over 5 years. Something like that. It's something like that. I know the players get half. I think the league, the NFL gets 500 million, and the players get 500 million over those 5 years. So roughly,
Woo, Lord.
pretty much $100 million a year for the most part, or to 200 million for the NFL for this, and it runs through 2025 with an option here for 2026 if they meet certain benchmarks, economically and things of that nature. So NFL will continue. The EA Sports will continue to dominate the NFL market. With that, we know that 2K has a game coming out, but it will not have the NFL players on that. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. So EA has basically dominated the NFL game since 2005.
Yeah, just correction. So basically, EA has the license for the NFL simulation.
Yes.
And 2K can still use NFL players, but not in the NFL simulation.
So what would they be doing?
Like something like
basketball,
NFL
playing Street.
Yeah, NFL Street. Yeah, something like that. That's NFL Blitz.
Yeah, but that's still simulation, though. I mean, it's you can. If I'm EA, I'm like, no, that's a simulation.
I don't understand the difference. Then
but if they're riding a skateboard or they're doing something crazy, that's different. But if they're simulating an NFL, it's like the catch, right?
Yeah, but dude's got like rocket boosters on.
Well, okay, that's different. Okay. It's got to be something like that.
Okay,
but you can't say,
so
well,
they
you
got
can
to
play
they just got to put accessories.
I mean, you one can argue that's already in Madden, but we're not going to talk about that. Okay.
That's EA say, yeah, y'all go ahead and play y'all little kitty 2K football.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, you're right. If you got a rocket blaster, or like if it's training day and he's got a gun or something, okay, that's different. But if it's like even 3-on-3 or
last Boy Scout,
exactly, that's still somewhat of a simulation. So that's why I'm like, if I'm EA, I want to know what 2K is doing.
Yeah, they've been kind of blurring the lines lately.
Yeah,
talk about the
I'm just saying, man.
That's a nice check, though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but
and I would be like, yes to that option year 6, please. Thank you. That's what I would be like if I was them. Like, with the 6-year option, yes. The answer is yes.
I just want to make sure I'm correct with that. I threw that number out. It was off the top of my head. I thought it was $1 billion. I don't know if you guys see the story, but I think it was something like that, $1 billion throughout the deal. Which I'm
if somebody would like to fact check us.
That's a lot.
We would gladly welcome it. He just remembers it's a lot of money. That's the point.
Some cottage.
Ooh, no, that's not. That's Taco Bell. That ain't even. That's Taco Bell, baby. You got a franchise.
That ain't Taco Bell. That's a homemade big old chalupa.
Oh, it's bigger than that.
No, but Taco Bell, you ain't getting nothing that big. That's a fast food chain.
Well, I just meant by it's the whole franchise that makes the chalupa because it's $1 billion.
Yeah, it is. That's $1 billion with a B.
Billy.
So that's sort of what esportsXTRA pays you, right?
Listen, esportsXTRA is now accepting sponsors. If these people want to sponsor us too, since y'all are throwing around a lot of money, we like money. Okay, I just wanted to get that out there.
Speaking of money, we're real quickly Compete Forever Madden update. The standings are still pretty much the same. We got to crack the whip a little bit. We're supposed to have some guys calling. I did not do my thing. I was traveling yesterday, and I just had a lot of stuff going on today. So we'll have those guys on Sunday.
Give them the benefit of the doubt.
I want to, sometimes you got to hug your kids.
I like that. Yeah.
You got to pat them on the back.
Can't always be the mean
Positive
cop.
reinforcement, yeah. So I'm like, I'm going to give them a day off.
Reinforcement sandwich, one positive thing, one negative, and one positive.
Right,
yes.
right. They got tired of being hit over the head with trap penalties. So we're going to give them some time off and come back on Sunday. All right, Coach K? Is that cool?
Even though I think they're starting to like it. Like, they're kind of coming in here a little turned. Like, low-key, they try to act cool in the beginning.
I wonder why.
Well, I think they're kind of liking it. I think they said the show is good.
I'm saying you get them revved up.
Yeah, you rile them up. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like this.
So, hey, buddy, where's your confidence?
Yeah, we got. I tell everybody keep it 100 where I'm at. Like if you stay 100, you might lose. But what did the great Mark Spears say? Paul Pierce believed that he could beat anyone and anything. Like that was one of the first things he said about Paul Pierce to why he was great. So confidence is everything. Keep it 100.
Keep it a buck. No, he was absolutely right. Oh, we do have a call. Okay, let's go to the phone lines. Live here on Esports Extra. We'll take your calls. We're going to be on for another 8 minutes. Actually, less than that because I owe Renee from yesterday. 877-853-5247, meeting ID Esport Extra. Caller, you're on the line live here on Esports Extra. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Larry, it's Terrell, the Cardinals representative from the C4 League right now.
Man, look at you, bro.
Wow. Okay, Terrell.
Terrell. That's what I'm talking. You know what?
I feel like a proud parent right now. Terrell.
I'm putting it out there, Terrell. You have a guaranteed spot for season 52.
Ooh.
I'm booking it right now. You are going to be one of the owners because you took it upon yourself to call in.
I like that.
Hey, man, get your games on, though. On top of that.
See, there it is. What's up with you, man? How you doing? How are those Arizona Cardinals treating
you? Like the Cardinals, but
that ain't
we're
good.
Fighting every day.
That ain't good.
Making it do what it do. Taking it one game at a time, learning, taking our losses and wins in stride. So,
what is your record, kind sir, in the NFC West?
We could talk about the rest of the teams. They're all doing pretty well right now. I enjoy the opportunity to get better.
That's
each and
hilarious.
Sure.
Everybody's doing great. Good competition. I got that Paul Pierce confidence.
Good.
No matter what the record is, I feel like I can beat you.
Sure.
Until you beat me, and even if you beat me, then I still feel like I beat you. But
okay, Terrell.
Okay. Once again, compete forever. Madden NFL Season 51.
Yes.
What is the record of the Arizona Cardinals?
He asked again.
The official record.
The record
is,
Season
3-9.
51. Okay, 3-9. There we go. We got it on the record. See, this is what you got to do.
All right.
You can't let him get out. You can't let him get away with this. Go ahead.
Let me clarify here.
Oh boy.
What's happening?
Right,
Terrell was talking that talk. I didn't expect 3-9.
We got to put a disclaimer up when we get people on the phone. Disclaimer: they might be lying.
No. He's not lying. Terrell is one of our newest owners that came in and took over the Cardinals. When he came in, he started at 2-4.
Okay.
Yep. So
he's
now,
2-5.
Yes.
He's 2-5.
Yeah. So
that's pretty good, Terrell. That's competitive. Yeah. What do you think, man?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, no matter what, we gonna compete. Just like when Renee they blew out Indiana by 59.
Terrell, the friend of the show.
Pull out the brownies.
Hey, did you see her Instagram and the NBA playoff or the WNBA playoffs? They kicked it over last second shot, corner three. Release rotation. She gave them the result, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my goodness. This is not about me. Terrell, I like your attitude. Your record is not where you would like it to be, but I keep that energy. Season 52 come with a little bit more. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I like this guy.
Yeah,
come on, Cardinals.
Draft your team for a slate, all that.
Terrell, before we let you go, Renee Montgomery, two-time WNBA champ, has one burning question for you.
Yeah, buddy. I already think I know the answer. I think I know, but where's your confidence at right now? Like, how you feeling?
Feeling good, feeling great. A 10 out of 10. We gonna keep it there. Like I said, the record don't reflect the confidence.
Okay,
we gonna get in the gym. We gonna keep doing what we do, and the confidence is gonna be there.
It's
Soon
gonna
enough, the record
be
will
there.
reflect.
Okay.
So
this
we look
guy.
Good. We look good. We feel good. When are you going to play good?
Season
52. But until then, we gonna do it like season 51.
Season 52. And he's honest. I like this guy.
Hey, Terrell. Oh man, go ahead, Coach K. Go.
Hey man, listen. This is going to be setting up your season 52. So, but when you play these guys, at least leave a mark on them. You know what I'm saying? Let them know, man. You know what I'm saying? Let them know that they played you, and to be careful for next season when you got a full slate and the team that you picked yourself. It should be good.
Okay. He said, if you're going to talk that talk, you got to walk that walk.
It ain't sweet out here. It ain't sweet out here.
Ooh.
Hey, what do they say, man? 3-6 Mafia, it's hard out here for a pimp. Is that what you're saying?
Talk to him.
Okay, all right.
Oh, wow.
Trying to get this money for the rent like the NBA and the NBA store?
Yeah.
Hustle and flow.
Rent too high, party. Rent too high.
Terrell, man, we do appreciate you, dude. Real talk, man. Thanks for calling in, dude. This is true. You will be an owner in season 52. You can mark it down. I don't care what Coach K says. You called in on your own. You are one of the 32 owners next season, man. We appreciate you doing it. And thank you for everything you're doing. Real talk, though, man. Straight up.
No problem, man. You guys keep up the good work. Glad to see
get your games done, buddy.
Young Black African Americans doing y'all thing. Setting a good example for the community. I just want to say thank you for everything you guys do. And stay strong during this COVID-19.
I like
yes, sir. Welcome to the league. Welcome to the league.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Yes. Speaking of Black News Channel. Nice little segue. Thank you for that.
Great segue, Terrell.
Black News Channel. The deal is done. The first 3 episodes will air in June. The Madden Albany Capital Center Classic will air June the 6th at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. That's a Saturday. Madden Albany Capital Center Classic on Black News Channel TV, 11 a.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Eastern, and then also Sunday, June the 7th, also 11 a.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Eastern on the Black News Channel. So Black News Channel giving us some love. I think they're making a promo for us as we speak, so that'll be nice. See how that turns out as they promote the league. Yep.
I like that.
Yeah, it's great, man. Any last thoughts before we get out of here? Two-time, I know you were on live on IG today. Who were you talking to?
RL from Next. You know, will you be my wifey? Yes, I'll be your wifey. Say you'll be my yeah, it was lit. He actually sang that on my live. So I'm enjoying this. Like I said, I'm enjoying this feng shui. I've been seeing your guns out today. You look healthy.
Stop that. Don't
Larry laptop. It's a good day.
Where's my guy at? Where's the son at?
Hey, listen, he has a girlfriend, okay? So sometimes she makes him get off of the game and focus. Me, baby, can you focus?
Did you tell him I had the Warriors gaming shirt on?
I did. He said, "Let's go." That's like his thing. So he's easily excitable. Like I love this kid.
So he's a mini little Tom Brady with the "Let's go" all the time.
Whoa.
We're gonna talk about Tom Brady on Sunday. Did you see his tricked out truck? That's for sale right now.
No.
Ooh, go look it up. We're gonna talk about it Sunday. It's an Escalade. Pimped out.
Wait, an Escalade? I didn't even know.
I can only imagine now.
It's pimped out. It's like $300,000. He's selling it for $300. I think he bought it for $350. But it's a beautiful Escalade. Pimped out.
What is it? Bulletproof? Why is it so much?
He probably only drove it 10 times.
Because it's got amenities and it's custom, baby.
And it's Tom Brady's.
Tom Brady.
I mean, listen, that's what I would pay for. So I always say, once I get wealthy, I'm not going to be the ones that have like the gold toilets, but I will pay for comfortability. Yeah, like things that make me comfortable. Like I would probably have a masseuse on the like payroll. Like, like I'm not going to have like dumb stuff, but like I want to just feel good. Like I want to like be comfortable and live nice.
I got that Hummer with the white rims on it, man, for a reason. I'm like, hey, I'm Larry Ridley. I got to look good.
I can't wait to get some of them cheese guacs
coming down the street, man.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. So that's what I want. Yeah, so like the only expensive things that I have is like my house and my car. Like, you know what I mean? In a sense that I don't have designer clothes really, but I will pay for comfortability.
There you go, man. Well, I got the nice clothes only because if it ain't free, it ain't me. That's another thing you're gonna learn being in the media. If it ain't free, it ain't me. That's all you need to say.
Okay.
I talk sports. You got to.
So let me talk to all the gaming organizations that we are representing right now. I see Larry Laptop with these shirts, the Pacers, this, that. I don't have any shirts. I'm a size small in men. Hoodies, shirts are welcome.
Small in women's too. You're small all over the place. You're small.
I mean, I call it life size. But small works too.
Life size.
Look, I can go in the store and buy clothes. I can sit on the plane. Just fine. Those seats were made for me. So life size.
There you go.
Nah, I'm gonna take care of everybody when we can get access back to our stuff. So you will have some gear. Don't worry.
Brooklyn.
I will. Hey, once I get it, I'm gonna wear it too, man.
Hey,
I'm going to support you, man.
Don't send me any life size stuff though.
No life size stuff.
No.
Hey, it's funny, Larry. You said if it ain't free, it ain't me. And now for me, most of the time I'm wearing my own clothes. So I guess if it ain't me, it ain't me.
There you go.
Yo,
there you go. Talk your talk, man.
Kurt.
Oh,
I like that. I like that.
He's original for a reason.
Hey, and I can't wait till I get my shirt. Ooh.
Oh yeah, yours is
Flock of flames.
Hers is 101, so it's definitely
101.
Yes, sir. Yeah. That's what we doing around here.
So what is mine? 1 of 9,000? How exclusive is mine or not exclusive?
It got a Gordon Gartrell. That's what it
is. Listen, I'm the queen of esportsXTRA, so mine needs to be different.
That is true. That is true. That is absolutely true. No arguments with me.
Hey, not zero.
Hey, when the queen speaks, she's the big piece on the chessboard. When the queen speaks, we all
I knew you guys. You guys sure know how to make me feel good.
Zip it. Queen is speaking. Hey, no, I've hopped in on your live for a couple of minutes. I listen to some of it, and every time I say the same thing, 2-time. What up?
You know, I still have that PTSD. Every time you say it now, I think of the other 2-time, but I'm getting over it. You know.
Renee, did you ask him about how they took his song and turned it into the "Why You Lying"? That song.
I did not, but see, I'm gonna have to start telling y'all who I'm interviewing in case there's a nugget like that, because I know what you're talking about, and that would have been.
Because I was like, I know, man, these youngins, man, they don't know where this song.
That was hot back in the day, yeah.
I tried to tell them, it was great.
Why
Thank you for
always? What is it? How did the song go? Why you always crying?
No, the song was too close. Too close.
Too close.
Too close. Yeah.
But that was by Next, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on Next. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, got it.
I like that and Butter Love. They're my favorite 2 songs.
Yeah, that Butter Love. He said that's the crowd pleaser.
Well, I thought you were going to say Honey Love for a minute. I was like, oh, no, R. Kelly, man. We can't do that.
Oh, no, sir. I said RL, the lead singer of Next.
Well, then he said Butter Love, and I was thinking, what, Honey Love? What are you talking about? But
no, sir.
That wasn't him. That was me. So it is 8:24 on the East Coast. We got to get out of here. Thank you, guys, man. Hey, OG, man, seriously, man. Good luck tomorrow, bro. Go get them.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. I really do.
Good luck.
And I'm going to tell you, I mean, keeping it a buck.
Oh,
this show kept my confidence high, buddy. Like,
yes.
I mean, doing everything that went on and everything like that. I mean, having you guys support and giving me something to do when I'm not doing 2K League things. I mean, it was.
I got a call as soon as we get off.
Awesome.
I'll tell you guys about tonight about an NBA 2K tournament we're going to possibly do. So I got some stuff we're working on right now. So, but no, I want to thank all you guys. That's my phone was going off. I gotta get off here in a second. But go ahead.
No, I say if the phone is ringing for the money, you can just pause. I'll take over the show and you can answer it. I'll just keep the thing running. What's the next thing topic?
Buy you a taco phone.
You gotta get the pager or something. You gotta answer them calls.
I'm trying to get us some bigger tacos, but that takes time here in esports. We all know that doing it. But hey, it's an emerging industry, and we're all growing. So for Kevin Mumuzet.
Yeah, you say his name excellent.
Mamuzet.
Kevin Mamuzet.
I didn't start saying it until Larry said it because I was scared to mess up the last
Same.
part.
Like when I read it the first time, I was intimidated, so I was like, I'll just leave it alone.
10 letters, 3 syllables.
Mamuzet. There it is, man.
And the fact that you know that just off top, you've said that a lot, so that makes me.
I walk around with a loose 10 in my pocket for anyone that can pronounce the name right in the first time.
Mamuzet.
Mamuzet.
Run me my money. I had never tried to say it. I had never tried to say it before I knew how to say it.
Kevin Mamuzet doing all the
there you go,
pushing of the buttons back there, making all the right calls. Show's looking good. We're going to continue to make it look good aesthetically. For OG King Kurt.
Hey,
Curtis. Got a game tomorrow night. Go Nets, go Nets,
yes,
go. And 2 times. Not 1. few times in this joint. Renee Montgomery.
Did you take the photo? I was posing.
Yeah, I'm about. We're on a delay, so I got time.
Okay.
I got time.
No
I'm about to actually take it here right about now. But
okay,
right. No, it's coming up. But no, great stuff. Any last thoughts, man, before we get out of here?
Hey, make sure you tune in to ESPN2 tomorrow at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
to watch Nets Gaming Crew, which is Chalk, Chess, Randoms, Pots, and Shuttles, and Wavy. Those are the 6 players on my team.
Yes.
Make sure you tune in and catch us. Our first game of the NBA 2K League season.
7 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yes. The only time, Eastern Standard. Standard time.
Yeah.
Check us out.
Good stuff, man. Rooting for you guys, man. I want to talk with an 1-0 head coach and GM on the Brooklyn Nets on Sunday. I'm putting it out there.
We just had Mark Spears and one from undefeated.
Undefeated. Hey, and as we used to say in football, you can't go undefeated if you don't win the first game.
I didn't even want to say. I was featuring it. I was in undefeated one time, but that's another story. But okay.
He did a real big article on me and the guys from Madden.
Charles Davis.
Charles Davis and those guys. Madden 17. He did a real big article.
And
I love that. Since
Brandon Garden, yeah.
Oh, I love that. Since we're doing that, I am a correspondent for Undefeated. I interviewed MJ's daughter for Undefeated. Yeah.
Hey. Okay. Hey, let's get MJ's daughter on here one day. Let's get her on.
Oh.
Yeah, get her on the phone one day. Let's get her on the phone.
Yes. So Mark Spears and them set that up for me. I didn't even talk to her before the interview. I literally met her on the live.
Oh wow.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's your boy over there at Undefeated.
How do you think she'll react if I say, hey, you're the airness, right? Can you hook your boy up with some J's?
I think that she will say no, because I'm sure everyone probably says that to her. And I would think family and friends are first, and then after that, yeah, I'm gonna holler.
We friends.
But I asked her the same thing, so I'm not gonna lie. I asked her the same thing in the interview, so hey, there's that.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. All right, guys. Have a great Thursday and a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Sunday. For Kevin, for Ivan, for Renee, I'm Larry Ridley. Thanks for watching esportsXTRA. We'll see you Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Bye-bye.